Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, where we discuss all things Manchester United. And the season's only just done. Well, the Premier League and domestic season's only just done because there is a couple of European finals to be played. But a lot is going on with Manchester United. Would Liam Delap be? Why can't I talk? Would Liam Delap be a good signing for Manchester United? According to reports, United have agreed the framework of a deal for Liam Delap. I don't actually know fully what that means, but we'll get into that. So it looks like the Liam Delap deal could be going ahead if he does indeed green light it. In regards to other incomings to Old Trafford as well, Manchester United still heavily linked to Brian Mbeumo, so we'll be talking about that. And in terms of outgoings as well, Rasmus Højlund has been linked with a move away, as well as El Capitan Bruno Fernandes, according to reports, has been given a 72-hour window to decide if he wants to accept Al Hilal's take it or leave it offer. So we'll be discussing that as well, people. So, but as always, big up everyone supporting Sarcasm City TV before I get into the show. Love to all of you lot. Please make sure you hit the like button on the video, though. Make sure, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back after the live, hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share this out across all the socials as well, people. At That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV, at Sarcasm City TV, at That's Me Flawless on Twitter and Instagram. And just as important, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It is rolled to 15,000 subscribers on the channel, and we are 50 away, people. We are 50 subscribers away from 15k. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. And I believe I've added the link into the chat. We launched it yesterday, people, the Sarcasm City TV Clips channel. Shout out to Prime, who does all the edits for that. So me and Prime have linked up to start the Sarcasm City TV Clips channel. The link is not in the title, so I'm going to add that right now as we speak, but the link's underneath in the description anyway, people. Sarcasm City TV Clips on YouTube. It's also Sarcasm City TV Clips on Instagram, and it's SCTV Clips on Twitter, people. So that's Sarcasm City TV Clips on YouTube, Sarcasm City TV Clips on Instagram, and SCTV Clips on Twitter. So make sure go subscribe to the YouTube and follow across all of the socials as well, people. Make sure you do so. I'm literally adding the link to the title as we speak. But big up everyone that has locked in. Big up Zifex, big up Chinlu, big up Cornmeal as well. Casper, Daniel, Real King, Hano, all in the building. Also, I mentioned it, Sarcasm City TV Clips. Make sure you get there as well. Yeah, you know what, Zipex, you're here often enough. I'll mod you as well. Big on my bro Sheik in the cut as well. Sheik, what are you telling me, man? You good?
Yeah, bro, doing great. Don't have to talk about a game for once, so that's one good thing. We don't have to discuss like a game or whatever, but feeling good. Obviously, like still a little skeptical about the club and everything and all that type of stuff, but we're on to a decent start. I think some of the players that we've been linked with that we're going to discuss later on in the show, good. Yeah, I mean, I can't really complain too much about it. I think that's the approach that we needed to take, but we'll get more into it. But yeah, blessed for having me on, bro. And shout out to the chat. You guys heard Flawless, man. 50 away from 15K, people. Like, come on, run it up. 50 away from 15K. And make sure you guys go check out that Sarcasm City TV Clips channel as well. And yeah, we're here, man. We're here.
There you go, people. So 50 subscribers, you see it across the bottom of the screen. The first clip we put out, it was only right. It had to be me talking about some Snow Bunny stuff, people. So yes, you already know. So make sure you go and check that out. Links in the title. Also, hey, Cornmeal, so did I, man. I thought we were broke. Like I was telling people, we are rich broke, but people want to move goalposts and all of this rubbish. But let's start with the Liam Delap information. So Manchester United have agreed the framework of a deal for Liam Delap and are now waiting on his next move. They have informed Ipswich that they'll match his 30 million release clause should he green light a move. That's from at Rob Dawson, ESPN. I'll give my thoughts on this again. I know many of you lot would have heard me speak about it. Some maybe have not. Liam Delap wouldn't be top of my list, but do I believe he would be a good signing? Yes. I look at the attributes. He had a good season in a very poor Ipswich side. I think the physical attributes he has is fine. He's strong. He's quick. good agility, good balance, can drop off short and hold the ball up, can spin in behind. Don't worry about that. I also think technically he's very good as well. I think there's much more to negate there's much more to his game than him just being a brute. He's not just the old school typical battering ram number 9, get it in the mixer. No, we can actually play. He can actually drop short and link up play as well. Can carry the ball too. He can dribble with the ball. He is like the certain points I've seen him like, okay, for someone who is his height, you shouldn't have that technical ability and be able to move the way you do on a football pitch. And I also don't think people have mentioned about him being a young striker here. I also don't think he'll be phased by being at Manchester United. I don't think he'll thrive as much as I'm not as confident in him thriving here as a Cunha. I think Cunha is a better player first and foremost. Secondly, I also think Cunha has more of that mentality, but I don't think DELAP would be phased. And I also think he'd be helped by Cunha. He'd also be helped by an Mbeumo, and 30 million as well as the steal. Because normally when we're talking these players, Manchester United, it'd be 60 million, 70 million, 80 million, 90 million. No, absolutely not. But my biggest thing about Liam DELAP, what I like about the deal is the price point. I think for 30 million is a steal. Like me and Troops was debating it yesterday, and he was saying how we don't rate him. If he brings in 12 goals, because he scored 12 goals for Ipswich, if he joins Manchester United and he scores 12 goals, gets some assists, is a foil for Acuna, and then Mbeumo, if we sign him, the other attackers, the wing backs, that's a good signing for 30 million. Again, we're not looking to, people keep talking about the Manchester United rebuild being massive. It is a big rebuild if you're talking about going from 15th where we are to going to competing and winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. That is not the aim. That is not the aim, people. The aim is just about improving and getting better. Baby steps. People talking about top 4 and like I said, or top 3 or top 2. How about positive goal difference? How about back-to-back wins? Here's another one. How about 60 plus goals? Let's go there. How about just being a competent unit on the pitch with the ball? How about being a cohesive unit on the pitch when we don't have the ball? Maybe start there. So that's why I'm not worried about those too many things. Yeah, that's it, Cornmeal. That's the correct word. Intelligence. I think he has good footballing IQ. But Flo's your Sheik, man. What are you telling me?
Yeah, same thing, bro. I completely agree. Like, I first want to say, just a striker like this, just to start off the bat, doesn't mean that we have to see Højlund if he ends up staying. You can clearly just identify that the guy is better than Højlund in terms of what he adds, not just even the goals. Like, the goals is one thing, but also just his overall game. The guy's more well-equipped with the league. Yes, he's been playing for a side that's going to the championship this next season, but he was I guess you could say the shine in that team. He was the guy who was getting the goals in that team. And it's like, deal-wise, it's a steal for sure. Like, I've seen so many times where we've gone out to get players. We go get players from abroad. They scam us. They tell us they put an extra 20, 30 million on that guy's price tag, sometimes even more than that. And that's something that we shouldn't get caught in, because we are in the situation with Rasmus Højlund where we overpaid way, way too much. And then look at the end product that he's given us in terms of like his investment and all those type of things, right? But even just far past like the accountant stuff, just look at the player itself. The guy is, I think, based off of this season, he's proven himself in the Premier League. Now, obviously, questions might be the questions that people might be asking is he ready for that big jump from Ipswich to Manchester United? I genuinely think he is. I think he can, in terms of the players that we do put around him, because I think that is very, very important. Like, if we're bringing in a DELAP and we ended up not signing Cunha, and we're not going to sign Mbeumo, then it's a problem, because then we've got, Ahmad on that right hand side, cool, but then on that left hand side, you got someone like Mason Mount, or if Garnacho ends up staying Garnacho, like all those type of things, and then that's where you see a little bit of a problem. But looks like the players that we are trying to pair him with, or the attack that we are trying to create for this next season, well equips him, because then you sometimes can be okay with the DELAP not having a great game because Cunha is around and Mbeumo is around, and they can lift him up in terms of the attack as well. So 30 million is a steal, like no question at all. When have we seen, a release clause for a player like this who's played well in the Premier League have something like a 30 million release clause? I know it's going to be tough though, because Chelsea are in it as well. And it's going to come down to a thing where who's going to pitch the better project. And I mean, currently at this stage, if you look at it, it is Chelsea. They're about to play the Champions League, all of those type of things. But Chelsea's thing is that they might not give him the game time that he needs, whereas we are going to give him the game time that he needs, because he's going to play almost every single game for us because of just our striking options. I still personally think that we should try to get another striker as well. But I understand that right now is not the thing. We're just like Flawless said, right now this is not the window for us to go all out. I think if we do end up going all out to get some of those quality players in the world, it would probably be after, we reach a certain level with this Ruben Amorim squad, with this manager too. So I think it might be something more of like next season. But is DELAP enough to try to get us to, maybe a top 8, maybe compete for, a domestic trophy next season? I think definitely. Look at how we've competed for trophies this season with this scrub of a squad, as bad as it is. And, as bad as we criticize Ruben Amorim, I think he can definitely help us achieve maybe some sort of goal in that aspect. But yeah, I like DELAP. I think from what we've seen from him this season, he's good. He does, he's more than just his goal scoring thing. I think he adds a lot more to the team as well. Link up play, all those type of things. He's technically okay and stuff too. So it's one of those type of things where it's a no-brainer. And I hope we do get him because it's something that we do need. I more so do want to talk about our approach though in the transfer window. And I do want to say that I do really like it because I've been saying this. I think we need to go away from getting these big names. I think we need to go away from also looking a little bit at foreign players. Not saying that we shouldn't look at foreign players at all. I think we should go a little bit away from that because the thing that we've struggled with in terms of our squad and this squad that, Ten Hag or whatever had just constructed is physicality, pace and power, just the things that you require in the Premier League. And I look at all of these signings that we are linked with and they tick those boxes. And that's something that I'm just...
Facts.
Yeah, it's like they tick all of those boxes. And I've been saying this too. I think this window for us, even though midfield is a big priority as well and other positions are, I want to see more attackers come into this club because we've seen in the past couple of windows, I think the last one, this past season in the beginning, Xerxes was the only attacking player that we technically signed. Rest all were defenders, some were midfielders. The season before that, though, we signed Rasmus Højlund. And then the season before that, we, splashed on Anthony and Rasmus Højlund. Now I think the approach that we are looking to make, Cunha is like about 62. I'm hearing Mbeumo is about 50. And DELAP is about 30. So in about 140 million, I think we've gotten how many goals? Like if you look at just DELAP's goals, 12. Cunha's goals, I don't know how many he scored, but I'm just going to say like 12 as well or 15 as well. And then Mbeumo, what he adds to the team as well, I think that's like at least a 30 to 35, maybe even 40 goal surplus in terms of our attack. And you guys know this. I've been on this show before where I correctly, actually wrong, predicted that we would score 45 goals. We didn't even score that. We scored 44 this season. So you add those goals to that attack, and it's like, okay, you've got, just like what Flawless was saying, I want to see 60 goals. I think with this attack, considering how many goals we scored in the league already, I think we can achieve that. And I think it's a good start. It's a solid start. Get them on a contract for 1 or 2 years because it's not this type of thing where we're looking to maybe keep them forever. They still obviously have to prove themselves in a Manchester United shirt because just like how Lakers fans say this about everyone, you're not a great until you wear that Lakers shirt and you do something great in that Lakers shirt. And it's the same thing for Manchester United as well. You are the player that you are, but it's a completely whole different thing when you do come to Manchester United and all that pressure, all that type of stuff when you're expected to have a good performance every single game. I think that adds to it, but I'm not too like concerned about that. I know Cunha will deliver because Cunha is a quality player and he clearly, like I said, he fits into our plans. He can play in that 10 either side if need be. If there are injuries, he can also slot in that 9 if we do require that, like a false 9, whatever. So that's a good signing. And Mbeumo, I don't even have to talk about him. Like we've all seen how Mbeumo is as a player, what he can add to a team, his just attacking threat, and pairing him on that side with Amad Diallo. Like pre-pause, I'm excited because it's like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. And then Bremo thing, it says, hey, yo. That is crazy.
You get what I mean, though. I
get what you're saying. It's still crazy. The pre-pause is good. It was needed. You know what I'm saying? It's still funny, though.
I've been getting better at that.
We'll get your thoughts on the Mbeumo. It says there, Manchester United are pursuing their interest in Brian and Mbeumo and have held talks with the forwards camp. That's from Chris Wheeler, DM. 24. Anything else on Mbeumo? Here we go. Yeah, a little bit more as well. Manchester United are big fans of Brian Mbeumo and want to add another player to play behind the striker, but a deal will depend on outgoings if they have enough funds. He's one of the names on the list, and that's from Fabrizio Romano. So yeah,
Yeah.
talk about it from before I do my thoughts. And then Mbeumo, yeah, floor's
Yeah,
yours.
same thing. I mean, like I said, Mbeumo, like no brainer, bro. Like we've been watching him in the past like couple of seasons. You know, Mons likes to call these guys Hobbs and Shaw for Brentford, and it's like we know. I mean, that's a pair, of course, of those two guys who have built chemistry with each other and have elevated Brentford's attack. But I see it being the same thing at our team too. You put good players around these guys, and they will they will flourish. And it's one of those type of things where Mbeumo, again, no brainer, prem proven. That's one of the biggest things. PMP, he does add to that. He has some sort of technical ability to him. And it's one of those type of things where it's like, again, it's a no brainer. And if we do end up getting Brian Mbeumo, then honestly, I have to give a lot of credit to Ineos because I didn't think they could pull off a deal like this and get a player like that. Considering also how just our season is gone and what the future is going to be, a lot of these players these days want to play in the Champions League, want to play in all these different competitions. We're going into a season without Europe. And we're going into a season where it's going to pretty much just be one game a week, unless it's, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, all of those domestic trophies, which are always a given. But other than that, it's one of those type of things where I just think it's a no-brainer. And Mbeumo is a quality player. He gives you goals. He adds a lot to the attack. He gets you assists. I don't know his exact numbers for this past Premier League season or even the one before that, but I just know as I've been, watching Brentford and keeping an eye on them, I know he's been a big part of their attack. And a lot of the times when he doesn't play, or either one of those two don't play, Hobbs and Shaw, it turns out to be a thing where their attack does kind of take a little bit of a dip. So that right hand side, even though Ahmad, everyone's gonna be like, Ahmad's there, all those type of things. Ahmad can play in the wing back. We've seen him play in the wing back when Ruben Amorim first joined. He was playing in that wing back role, and look at how much he was creating and adding to the team. And it's one of those type of things where, again, I just said this pre-pause, but those type of things make you wonder, oh shit, on that right hand side, if we do pair Mbeumo and Ahmad, both technically gifted players, both players who again have that quality to them, pace and power, all those type of things. You just wonder what it could really do. And then let's say one of them also, God forbid, but it probably is going to happen, one of them gets injured. That's an option now we have. Now we don't have to go thinking about, what is our attack gonna do because Amad Diallo is injured? Well, we have an Mbeumo, and then vice versa. If Mbeumo gets injured, we can play an Amad Diallo in that 10 if need be. So yeah, it's like a no-brainer. I don't think anyone honestly should be sitting here saying Mbeumo's not good signing for United or any of those type of things, especially if you're a United fan. Whether rival fans want to say he's gonna kill his career or whatever, I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's a good signing. I'm very, very I'm impressed because like I said, I think our transfer strategy should have been this, that we do need to go out and get some proven players, because again, people, we're not in a position where we're making a jump to go get top four. We're not in a position where we're making a jump to go challenge. So there are signings out there that other clubs are doing. Like Flawless was saying, that Troops didn't really agree with the whole Liam Delap signing because they're trying to go win a league. Liam Delap maybe cannot try to make you win a league, and you want to maybe get a more quality striker. It's a completely different thing for us. We're just trying to be a competent team, get to some sort of level play, like a level field where we can have some sort of identity, be like, okay, this is how we play. Our attack needs to be of a certain level. And I think we're on the right start. We've gotten Cunha, who, like I said, prem proven. We're linked with Delap, who he has a lot to learn, and he's still young. And I think maybe the pressure of Manchester United, that shirt might get to him, maybe, but it's one of those type of things where I just look simply at the quality of the player. I look simply at who we have in terms of depth, and he fits and he ticks those boxes. So yeah, about Mbeumo, look, I'm a fan. I've been a fan of Mbeumo, and I see, I'm not going to, because people twist my words, but it's I see, when I look at him as a player, he's kind of very similar to how Salah plays, where he makes those runs, he can cut in and shoot. He's just an attacking threat like that. And I'm not saying he's even on close to the level of Mohamed Salah, but it's more so about the type of player that he is. And I think it's needed in a team for us. And yeah, I mean, simple as not, I'm tired of seeing this attack. I really, really am. The attack that we've had, our attack has been shit for years. I'd say probably for 3 years now. It's been absolutely terrible, where we have to rely on players from our past to come through, and when they do come through, it's not consistent. So these guys have been consistently to a certain, they've been at a certain level, consistent in the Premier League at their own clubs, and that's really it. And I think what we're looking in terms of scouting and the players that we are looking at, I'm impressed, because I don't think we should just go all out for talents out and foreign players and all of those type of things, because we've seen how that can go wrong. In the comment that you just brought up, that Fabrizio said, it's on player sales. I have no guarantee that we will sell. Like, I have no doubt that we will sell players. Players will be sold. There's a lot of them that are going to be sold. I can just name a couple of them: Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho. Look, it's just three. Anthony. These are 4 attackers right there that are going to, like, most likely be sold. So it's one of those type of things where it's like, not only do we have to replace them, but we're also replacing them with some sort of quality, and that's what I'm
Yeah,
happy about, to a certain extent.
yeah, and that's what it is. That's why I don't worry about the money side of things, because money was there, as we seen with the Kunji situation. Money's there, as we're seeing with the DELAP situation, and we are going to raise money from sales because players will be moved on. With Mbeumo, everything I said about Cunha applies to Mbeumo. Every single thing in regards to when you look at him, you mentioned it there about his directness, but from the physical side of things on the football pitch, direct, quick with the ball, quick without the ball, good acceleration, good sprint speed, great agility, great balance, strong, has that low center of gravity as well. The technical side of things is there also. Good finisher. Like, he scored 20 goals this season. Before that, he got 9 in 25. Before that, he got 9 in 30. 1 second, I double check this, make sure I get the numbers right. 9 in 38. So he did 20 in 38, 20 goals, 20 league goals in 38 league appearances, 9 in 25 the season before, and then 9 in 38. So you're saying he's almost double figures, and that's playing with Brentford, who are not that fantastic side. So I look at it in that aspect. Good finisher. Like I said, good dribbler of the ball, can carry the ball as well. Very, 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 very potent left foot. That's what I would say, man. Technically very, very secure. And mental attributes as well. He just seems like, Monzai, we mentioned, calls him Hobbs and Shaw, just cool under pressure. I don't think he will be phased at all being at Manchester United Football Club. He seems like the type, this is my job. He's like Hobbs and Shaw. That's what they're like. In particular, in particular, Shaw. And when I say Shaw, I'm talking about Shaw from the Fast and Furious franchise. No frills. Man don't make a big song. Man says, what's the job? Turns up, kicks ass, and leaves. Like, that's pretty much what you're getting with Mbeumo. And also, as well, what I've not had in a long time as a Manchester United fan, where we've been, because the deal's not done, but we've been reported to be signing 2 players in the window. And I think their partnership will be great. Like, I think they're fantastic foils for each other. We see how Mbeumo links up with Visa. I rate Visa highly. I think Cunha is a better version of Visa. So the fact that him and Visa have linked up and have had that great partnership, I think with Cunha, those two as 10s, problem. And I think whoever the 9 is, as long as it's not Højlund, if you're a half decent number 9, I think you're going to eat. I think you are, because you are going to get a hell of a lot of service, because a lot of the attention is going to go on those two. If Cunha and Mbeumo on the pitch, unless you're an Osherman, unless you're like a Lewandowski or like a household 9 or a well-known 9, all the attention's going on those two. If it is DELAP, let's say it is DELAP, you're third on the list. If I'm the opposition, I'm talking about, all right, who are we looking to shut down in this game? I'm looking at Cunha and I'm looking at Mbeumo. Whoever you put 1 and 2 is up to you. But I'm looking at those two first, and then third on that list is DELAP, which is going to help him. Because at Ipswich, he's the only outlet. So with this deal, I hope we get it done. I will be over the moon if we get this Mbeumo deal done. The way they've moved has surprised me. And it's another good price as well. They talking 50 million.
I thought it'd be a lot more. Like,
yeah, I thought he would have been like, we heard about links to Semenyo and heard Bournemouth wanted 70 plus million.
80, 70,
but he's not 70, 80 million. And I rate Semenyo. So if we were to, let's say hypothetically, it's 50 million. To get Cunha and Mbeumo for 110 million is fantastic business, considering the situation we are in as well. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Without question, I'm all for it. And hopefully we can just get the deal done. And speaking of that, outgoings we'll get to in regards to our attack. Inter Milan want to sign Rasmus Højlund. Simeone Inzaghi is a fan of his profile, and the club are keen on an initial loan with the option to buy, which could become mandatory should certain conditions be met. That's from at Inter Live via at sport_witness on Twitter. Thoughts on the sheet?
You know what it is about this, right? It's because I've been hearing so many different things. Apparently, he's been linked to a move to Saudi as well, Inzaghi. So it's one of those type of things where, like, I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I think it actually is Al Hilal, the club that Bruno Fernandes is linked to. So I'm not sure if like he ends up staying or not, because I've been hearing this. Like I've seen, shout out to Judge Mo. I've seen him tweet about it. I've seen him talk about it. That he's been saying like, oh, if you end up leaving, then at least win us the Champions League on Saturday before you do go. But yeah, it's just one of those type of things where like, look, about Rasmus Højlund, I'm not going to sit here and say anything about it. Get this guy gone, bro. Like I think he, out of anyone, should be one of, like, there's a lot of the names that should be first, but he definitely should be one of the first names gone, because his career in the Premier League has been absolutely dreadful. I don't think there's any club out there that would take Rasmus Højlund from us. Genuinely. I think a lot of clubs in the Premier League currently right now would say no to him. Now, although for us, it's one of those type of things where I've been hearing a lot of people say, oh, who's going to buy them? Oh, who's going to pay money for them? It's not about how much money. Here you go. And it's also about, it's not about how much money. That type of stuff doesn't matter anymore. We're not going to sit here and be like, oh, we're going to get a big loss on Rasmus Højlund, this and that. That type of stuff doesn't matter. And it's like, you've seen it in the past. The same questions were asked about Scott McTominay. He went to Napoli. The same questions were asked about Antony. He went to Betis. There are clubs out there that will get these players, because some clubs look at these type of situations. Why would a club, or like, think about this, a club would look at our situation and be like, hey, Scott McTominay has gone out there and won a league with Napoli. Antony's gone to a different club and he's doing wonders. Why don't we try to also go for some of these United players? Because clearly it doesn't work out for them at United, but it does. The stats and, you know, the statistics do suggest that when players do end up leaving, they actually play well and they do fit sometimes into plans. So I think some clubs will look at this type of situation and be like, let's go take these players off of them. Maybe they can, you know, not saying transform our attack or whatever, because Rasmus Højlund is shit. Let's just keep it plain and simple. But some other players, they might look at some of our systems and be like, hey, let's get them away, because obviously we know how it is, you know, pressure, all those type of things. Antony came out and said he wasn't like eating for 3 days and all that type of stuff. Let's take these players away from those quote unquote toxic situations, and let's try to fit them in our plans at our club. And who knows, maybe they might fit, maybe they might not. Considering price tags of what they're going to pay, if it doesn't work out at those clubs, they can still be sold for around the same amount. Or if it does end up working at those clubs, they can still be sold for a higher amount. So I see it more of like an investment, of course. Yes, the reputation of these players doesn't really help out, but it is clearly out there that players who do come to our club don't perform well, and then when they leave, they somehow do start having, you know, decent seasons, or you see something better from them. And I think that's really what it is. I don't think we're going to have a problem in selling any players that we truly want to sell. If we truly want to get rid of these players, I don't think we're going to have a problem, because you're going to accept offers at the end of the day from anyone. That just shows that you really do want to get rid of this player. It's the same thing, kind of the energy that Ruben had towards Rashford. Everyone was like, where's Rashford going to go? Where's he going to end up joining? He joined a Villa team that was competing for the Champions League, almost pretty much made it, and he had a big part in that too. He had good performances for Villa when he was there on loan. So it's one of those type of things where like it's possible. If Inzaghi is listening to me, or any, you know, Inter Ultras are listening to me, I am very sad that Rasmus Højlund is leaving. You guys would be getting a great player, this and that. But nah, like, all jokes aside, get him gone, bro. Like, genuinely get him gone. This guy has been arguably one of the worst players that I've seen. And I've seen someone like Oberton, and I've seen him, like, you know, mess up plays, mess up simple passes, but he still had something to him more than Rasmus Højlund. He still came after every game and was like, okay, what can I improve on and do better? Even though obviously he didn't get enough game time as Rasmus Højlund. I see nothing in this guy. I see no sort of improvement. I see no type of quality in terms of his play. Maybe he can go to a different league and flourish there. Maybe this league is just not good enough for him, but I don't care about it. As long as he's gone, as long as he's away from the club, that's all that matters. And yeah, start. And there's another one that we're going to get into. We're going to probably talk about
we'll
after this.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, like Rasmus Højlund, yeah, just to sum it up, we can get rid of these players, guys. I've been hearing a lot, like, who's going to buy them, this and that. Look at all the links. By the way, these links didn't just pop up today. They were right after the Europa League final. Right after the Europa League final, we heard that Serie A clubs are looking for Rasmus Højlund and they're inquiring about him. So again, it's one of those type of things where it's not going to be an issue. If we really want to get them gone, they can go. We can get them gone. So
that's why I'm at with it. Word to Beijing Pops, man. Every pot has a cover. That's why I don't worry about moving gun players. Like, people just do that against scaremongering. As bad as we think players are, and he is woeful. Let's not get that mistaken or misunderstood. He is awful. Bad players get sold literally every window, people. Terrible players get sold every single summer window and every January window all across Europe. But when it comes to Manchester United, for some reason, people act like we can't sell bad players. Like we've not been selling bad players for the last 10 years now or however long. So in regards to this, it did surprise me it was Inter Milan, because I know he was linked to Juventus. I think he was linked back to Atalanta as well. Speaking of Bayesian Pops, we got Bayesian Pops in the cut as well. Hope you're good. Hope you're good, OG. I love this. I love this. And the fact that it's on loan with the option to buy, cool, just get him gone. Would I prefer a full transfer? Yes, but initial loan, because you know what? I actually think he'll do all right over there. Put it this way. I think he'll do better over there than he has done over here, which increases his value. And if we get anything for him, because again, me and Droops was discussing it yesterday, and he was like, are you going to get the prices you want for these players? Any price for these players is good. Any price.
We're past that.
Players,
we're past those prices and all that.
The players I would give away for free, any price is good. If someone said you can't get no fees for none of these players, so no Højlund, Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony, etc., you don't know the list, Maguire, Shaw, I would give them all away for free. So if we get 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50, whatever the fee is, great business. So the fact that teams are in, everybody has been linked with moves, and there's been some form of concrete. It's been some form of concrete news as well. I love
interest,
that. And the fact, concrete interest, and adding the fact that joke man Ten Hag is now at Bayer Leverkusen.
That come get your players. Come get your players, bro. Come get your guys.
Come get Onana. Come get Højlund. Come get Anthony, etc., etc. So I'm all for that. But
we'll give you a discount. We'll give you a discount. You bought them for how much ever you did here. Cool. Forget. You know, we're past that. But we'll give you a good discount. We'll actually give you a discount. You could take him for free. Like, genuinely, bro. Take him on loan. Add that obligation. Not even an option. Add that obligation to buy. Forget about options, but yeah, take him, man. Take him. Like,
and to AW says, problem with loan is he might do all right, and United fans will do revisionism and want him back. That's where the club need to not pay attention to the fans.
Yes,
Rashford, that means to the credit of the fans, actually, to the credit of the fans, Rashford did well. Anthony's currently doing well. I've seen very few fans say they want either of those two back. And they're two players who've performed well. I believe Malacia won the Eredivisie, but someone quote me on that. I'm not sure how well he played over there, but without watching, I think he was phenomenal. Somebody should definitely come in and sign a fella, Malacia. Big up to Dots as well, says my fellow winter soldier and calcium connoisseur. Dots, big up Dots, man. Big up Young G. People, go watch the clip, man. Go watch the clip. You lot gotta go watch the clip on the Clips channel. Sarcasm City TV clips, links in the title. But yes, Højlund, all for it. Get him gone. Malcolm XFC, by any means necessary. That's what we need to do with this lot. That has to be motivation. That has to be the message. That's what it should say. Malcolm XFC, by any means necessary when it comes to getting rid of these players. So whether it's transfer or whether it's loan, of course, the preference is a full transfer. But if it's loan and they can raise their value, cool. Because like I said, I think Højlund goes back to Italy and does better than he's done over here, which only raises his value. Rashford has raised his value. Anthony's raised his value. Great stuff. So's Malacia, because I believe he's contributed to them winning the Eredivisie. So then we move from there 110%. 110%. Big up Pops, man. I said I want them back. You're a joke, man. Yo. I bet you do. I bet you want them back. I really don't. And speaking of that as well, this Al Hilal issuing out ultimatums. How true this is, I don't know. But obviously, we discuss all rumors. So Bruno Fernandes has been given 72 hours to decide if he wants to accept Al Hilal's take it or leave it offer. That's from at Chris Wheeler DM and Nafestol #MUFC. All I say is, Bruno, take the deal. You don't want to be here.
You want to see generational money, Bruno Fernandes. You are not going to see this money ever again.
You don't want to be here. You don't want to be here for a reason.
You don't want to be here.
At least 2 years away. Is he 31 now?
He's about to be 31. Yeah, I think so. I think he's about to be 31.
So by the time we are anywhere near trying to go and compete, you 33, 34, and that's if the rebuild actually goes well. Yeah, he's 30, so he's going to be 31 in September. So 33, 34, is
By
the
the start
next
of
time
next
he might
season,
be back
he's
in
gonna be
Europe.
31. Yeah.
Yeah, be 31 by the time of next season. Take the deal. Plus, we need the money. Plus, I seen your comments after the game. You was like, if the club want to sell me for money, sell him. Why does Egypt manager talking about building around Bruno? I have no idea.
Building
Why?
around a 31-year-old midfielder. Come on,
And
man.
a 31-year-old midfielder that just had you finish 15, that has you under pressure.
That didn't do
He's
shit in the
contributed
final either.
massively.
That gave away the ball for the goal in the final. Like these are I just don't get it. But yeah, to add to that, Flawless, like I'm going based off of just what Bruno said, because like, you know, people be saying all this type of shit, but I'm just gonna go based off of what our quote unquote captain at the club said. Our captain said, if the club doesn't want me, I will leave. So this is on Ineos. Accept it. Make that known that you don't want him, and then he will leave. You make it known right now that, hey, Bruno, we're looking to accept this offer. The rest is in your hands. He's gonna leave. Because he's basically saying that if the club doesn't want me here, I'm going to end up leaving. So I'm taking you for your word. Ineos need to go out there and just accept this deal, bro. It's a no-brainer. These guys sit here and talk about how much money we're losing. You know, you're firing dinner ladies and stuff at the club. You're doing all these different things and all that type of stuff at the club, complaining about money and shit all the time. This type of money can actually help us so much in the rebuild. 100 million. 100 million for this guy, or 80, how much ever it is, 80 to 100 million for this guy, for a 31-year-old midfielder, which I've been saying there's no European club is going to pay this amount of money for Bruno Fernandes. They are not going to do it, regardless of whether you think he's an elite chance creator, world class, all of that type of shit. It's not going to happen. And they have to be on it. And I've been saying this, I think it's going to come down to a clash between Ineos and Ruben Amorim somewhere throughout the summer transfer window, because you, man, need to stop listening to this manager. You, man, also need to stop giving this manager so much power in terms of the team that he wants. Have a firm hold and grip of this club, because you are losing that hold and that grip to a manager. And that's the problem that we had with the previous one. You gave Ten Hag 250 million to spend. You told him to go out there and get fancy cars. He got a bunch of Honda Civics. When you told him to get a bunch of fancy cars and actual cars that can, do well, decent on mileage, gas, all those type of things, he went out there and got like a bunch of cars that are not even anywhere near that. And that's the problem. I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at you, because you gave him that power. You should have known. And it's the same type of thing where I know Ineos weren't there at that time when we gave him money for Højlund and Antony and all those type of things. But now you have seen the repercussions of what it can be, or what it can turn out to be, when you give a manager that much power. I'm not saying you shouldn't give him or shouldn't listen to him at all. I'm saying don't give him the entire power in terms of picking out players. And I think maybe these Cunha deals, these Mbeumo deals, these DELAP deals, I think that is a little bit part of that, where they're like maybe not so listening too much to the manager. Maybe they just want to go out there and get proven players that are to a technical level. Think about this also, Flawless. Mm-hmm. Let's say we do sack Ruben Amorim. These three players that we are linked with can still play in a back four system, in a back three system, if we do end up getting a manager who still plays a back three. But that, I think, is the most important thing as well, is that if Ruben Amorim gets sacked, you're not going to hear questions about, oh, where's Cunha going to play? Oh, where's Mbeumo going to play? Oh, where's DELAP going to play? Because they still, to a certain level, can, I think, play in both type of systems. And I think that is, exactly. And that's the most important thing at this moment. So based off of all of that, Ineos need to accept this deal, because you can use this money to turn things around. I know even regardless of Bruno Fernandes, whether we sell him or not, money-wise, we are still going to have a lot of outgoings, like Sancho, Rashford, all these people that I mentioned. I don't know if you know those Flawless, but we have a 50% sell-on clause for Mason Greenwood as well. So if he ends up getting a big move from Marseille to whichever club he ends up going to, we get half of that money. Whether it's 60, whether it's 70, we get half of that. So that's still more money coming to us. And again, it's just one of these type of things. This is the best opportunity for you to rebuild the squad. And I also think our next couple of years depend on this, because we've seen how bad the last rebuild was and how terrible it turned out to be. Yes, we even, picked up 2 trophies, but our Premier League form has been absolutely dreadful. It's regressed every single season. We started off in a high in the Champions League. We then finished 8th. We now finished 15th. So it's just been regressing in terms of that. And I keep saying this. I think progression, yeah, sometimes people might think that progression is measured by trophies, not at Manchester United Football Club, because we win these trophies anyways. It's a minimum to win these trophies anyways. Progression for me, based off of your project and of a manager, is based off of how you are doing in the league on a consistent basis. And I think that's where we need to start. If they want to turn anything around, it's more so about that you have to build this squad and get this rebuild right, because that's where our next couple of years rely on and depend on. And I think that's really what it is. We got 50% of the profit sheet for Greenwood, not 50% of the entire fee. So it's not as much as money as we think, but it's something. Okay, maybe I could be wrong, but I think I heard about that there was a sell-on clause for him. That's what I heard. So yeah, that's pretty much what I would say to that. But yeah, my point is that we're going to generate a lot of money. That's the whole point that I was trying to make, is that we're going to generate a lot of money anyways. This will be added to it. From 100 million, you're telling me that Bruno Fernandes is about the same price as like a Florian Wirtz right now at this moment? Like that we could sell Bruno Fernandes for about the same price?
Tell him like Sheik said. Like Sheik said, this should be taken out of the manager's hands. Manager ain't gonna be here anyway. Let's get rid of him. What are we doing here? He's not worth, let's say it is 100 million, but because reports said it was a record fee. Let's say it's 100 million, 110, 120, whatever you want to say. Sell him. Even if we weren't in a rebuild, even if we was at the top of the table trying to challenge for the league, or we just won the league, or whatever the case may be, he is not worth that money. Forget our situation. So let's move Manchester United and us being in a rebuild and us being in 15th and us not being in Europe. Let's move all that to the side. For the team's sake, is he £100 million worth of midfielder? No. You take this offer. People talk all the time about Manchester United selling terribly. Sell him. This is a or should be a non-negotiable. Shout out to Al Hilal if this is indeed true about the 72 hours. Why they've not put a bid on the table, I don't know.
Already.
But maybe they're looking at it like, all right, rather than make a bid to Manchester United and Bruno rejects us, let's get the personal terms agreed. Let's get first, the personal terms agreed. And you know what, people? We're going to find out how much this guy loves the club. Because this is a lot of money. For everyone who said he understands what it means to be at the club. If we had more players like him, we'd be better. He'd die for the badge. All this absolute, utter rubbish. All nonsense, of this nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense.
I hope he takes the money for two reasons. One, it helps Manchester United. And two, to see the conversation surrounding him. Because he's had the defense of this guy has been so strong. Like I said, legend of the football club. And hey, if he leaves for astronomical money, hey, uncomfortable conversations. That's what I say about that. But get him gone,
man. Get him gone, man.
But you look, before we continue, run up the likes, continue to run up the likes. Get us over 30 likes, please. Subscribe to Sheik's channel, Sheik TV. Make sure you subscribe here to Sarcasm City TV. Sarcasm City TV as well. You see it across the bottom of the screen. 50 subscribers away from 15,000. Just 50 subscribers, people. And subscribe to the Clips channel, Sarcasm City TV Clips. The link is in the title, people, as well. A new clip will be out later on today, probably about 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. UK time. And this is another thing I wanted to get to, because I had no idea about this, because someone asked me, I believe it was yesterday, is losing the Europa League a blessing in disguise? It's not even a blessing in disguise. That disguise is not even on. It is a true blessing. If I knew losing a final to Tottenham Hotspur would have this form of domino effect on this team and have all these players linked with moves away and Garnacho being told to move to a new club, and there actually being concrete links of all these terrible, not all of them, but the vast majority of these players being linked with moves away, I would have said lose to Spurs in the final years ago if that was the case. Definitely, without doubt. Let me find a comment. Where is it? I think I started. There was something I wanted to get to. Here we go. This was it. Manchester United aim to offload significantly more players this summer after not qualifying for any European competition. That's from at Telegraph Ducker. If this is indeed true, not a blessing in disguise, a whole blessing. Is more. I don't know what's more than a blessing. I'm gonna Google it in a second. What is more than a blessing? This is, we have struck not gold, we have struck platinum. We have found diamonds. If not winning the Europa League, because I do believe if we win the Europa League, there is less links. Put it this way, I think Garnacho's still here. So I go as far to say that. I don't think Nacho says what he says, which then forces the manager's hand.
Oh, I think Bruno
to
ends
then
up staying,
move
bro,
them
because
on.
then everyone's
Bruno
gonna be
probably,
like,
yo,
Bruno's
he
our
won us the
captain, lifted
Europa
us a
League and
Europa League, yeah, all that
all
type of
this
shit, bro.
rubbish. I love the fact. I love the fact. I hope this is true. I hope this contributes, and this contributes massively. And I hope, like you said, it makes it not only significantly more players, but it makes it significantly quicker as well. No blessing in disguise, a whole motherfucking blessing. That's what it is. And I'm all for it. Because normally I'm trophies over everything. People know me. Like, I'm like trophies. I'm like, we'll get to it next season. But this case, because we are in such a dire state and such a terrible situation as an institution, because we are deeply unserious, word to my guy Alam, we had to lose that final. Not that we had to, but losing the final, I'll take. I'm fully with it. I will take a hit. I will take short-term pain for long-term gain. As much as it sucks losing that Europa League final, if we get rid of these lot, if we sell Bruno, if we sell Garnacho, if we sell Højlund, if we sell Rashford, if we sell Anthony, if we sell Onana, if we sell Shaw and Maguire, and the list goes on, hey, we won. Bigger than the Europa League. We won.
Seriously, bro.
We move on. The vast majority of them players I just mentioned, guess what? We won. And if I could go back in time like it was Marvel and have us win the final, I still would not have us win it. If we line up next season and there's no Onana in the starting lineup and he's gone, and there's no Maguire, and there's no Shaw, and there's no Garnacho, and there's no Rashford, and there's no Bruno, and there's no Højlund, we won. We won. I'll go one further, people, with this. Normally, when it comes to summer windows, and I've seen a hell of a lot of summer windows with Manchester United, I am more, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm more looking forward to who we're bringing into the football club. It's all about incomings. It's all about signings. Outgoings is kind of on the back burner. There's the odd player you want to get rid of. Whereas I am equally as interested in the incomings as I am the outgoings. As much as I'm over the moon about Cunha, I was equally as happy about Garnacho being told to find a new club. As much as I'm excited about Mbeumo coming in, and I like the Mbeumo signing and DELAP signings and us linked to midfielders, I'm just equally as happy with Rashford linked with a move away, saying he's going to be 40 million. Bruno being offered an ultimatum. Onana links to him, the Højlund news. Our club is so bad. I'm equally as excited as outgoings. Hey, I go one further, people. We could sign just Cunha and have no other incomings. And if we sell all these players, phenomenal window.
Phenomenal window.
I will jump for joy. If we just sign Cunha and we sign nobody else, people, so no other signings, no Mbeumo, no DELAP, and we got rid of all this crap, and we only brought in one, I would jump for joy at that window. I'd go, you know what? Fantastic window. Well, what about what we gonna do? We got players left and we got youth players. Let them run it. That's how tired I am of these lot. Yeah, as much as I dislike the manager and as much as I think he's doing a terrible job, I dislike this lot more. And this is why I didn't want the manager to go before them. Because let's say we lose the Europa League final, which we did. Amorim gets sacked the day of. You know what happens the next day or in that meeting? When the players stay, Garnacho probably gets told he's staying and others. Get them all gone. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
And it's like, yeah, to add to that too, like us not playing in Europe this season, of course, that just obviously means, you know, we're playing one game a week. That allows you to trim down your squad. You don't require a lot of squad depth at the club. I know, like, we still do end up like needing it and stuff like that, but that actually gives you a position to trim down your squad. You're not going to see a lot of clubs who are in Europe playing on multiple games a week and all that type of stuff trim down their squad the way that we can this season. And again, it's like, just to perfectly put it, we've wanted some of these players gone for a very long time, people, like very, very long time. And the fact that it just feels like I've seen the light. Like, I've genuinely, like, it's like, okay, like, I actually can look forward to a window where we don't actually probably even care about who really mostly comes in. It's more about, I can look forward to a window of all these guys being gone. I'll do flawless one further. We can sign no one this season. We can sign no one in this window. Genuinely. We could do the David Moyes thing and just sign like a Marouane Fellaini at the end, at the final day, and do some shit like that. I don't care. As long as these guys go, that's so important. Because you can see how bad it has been with these people. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. We have had the two worst ever Premier League seasons that I have seen with my two own eyes with this squad. So that should tell you everything of why we want all these people gone. ASAP Rocky, bro. Like, absolutely in this moment. So, again, Ineos, I'm looking at you. You have to accept this deal. You have to accept this deal when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. I don't know if you've seen this, Flawless. Ruben Amorim apparently told Garnacho that he's like, you better pray that you find a club.
Yeah, I don't believe
I
he
don't know how
said that.
true that is, because I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm also like, where are you guys finding this? Like, was someone
yeah.
there standing by the wall? Was someone a fly on the wall and he just heard this? Like,
so Daniel put this. Ruben Amorim said, "You better pray that you can find a new club to sign you to Alejandro Garnacho in the aftermath of the events surrounding the Europa League final." That's from at Naif Soul 1 on Twitter. That's at Naif Soul 1. Yeah, I don't believe this. I don't believe he said all that to him, to be honest. I think that's a bit much. Personally, I don't think he said all that. But I do like the rumor of it. I love it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
oh man, it's like, yeah, I kind of felt like I still obviously, like, considering how last season went, it's tough to forget. You don't forget about all those things. Watching every single game, having no sort of attacking quality, watching, PSG midfield, Inter attack, Barca attack one week, and then you go back to our club on the weekend and you just see nothing. Like, that absolutely was just depressing as hell. But for once, like Flawless has said, there's actually something to look forward to, people, in the summer. Like, there's actually something to look forward to in terms of our squad, because we've seen 3 years, I would say, at least to me, 3 years of absolutely terrible, terrible players. And the fact that a lot of these terrible players are on the verge of leaving, I couldn't be more happier, bro. Genuinely couldn't be more happier. And it's like, it's this too. It's not like we are trying to push them out as well. Look at the things that they themselves have said. It's not even us. Like, look at the things that they themselves have said. Like, these scrubs are tired of being scrubs now too. Like, these scrubs are literally tired of being scrubs. They're like, we want to go. We don't want to be here anymore.
They don't want to fight for it no more. No Europe and that. Like, because they got nowhere to hide. They got nothing to hide behind. There's no Europa League
trophy. There's no trophy. Just no A trophy.
There's
no A trophy. They have nothing to hide about. They know now, like, what can people even say about them, right? There's nothing that people can even really say about them. Like, oh, well, we see some sort of turnaround. No, there's nothing that you can suggest based off of this season that there is any sort of turnaround with any of these players. If anything, this season was meant to be that season to see if there's a turnaround. Considering how Ineos made their decision, they kept Ten Hag to see if there's a turnaround for him. They kept most of these players to see if there's a turnaround for them. We got our answer at the end of the season. There wasn't. We got our answer with Ten Hag early on in the season when, obviously he started off with the form that he started off. We got the answer for these players at the end of the season with the competition that they absolutely played fucking shit in, like, in that final. And again, it's one of those things where now it's clear as day. Where will you hide? What will you hide behind? There are no statistics you can hide behind. There's no certain performances that you can hide behind. People want to talk about Bruno had a good game in Anfield and all that type of shit. That game doesn't fucking matter. They won the league anyways. And when he needed to perform in a final, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. So it's like, and this is not the first time. This is the second European final he's been in, and he's had a terrible performance.
Oh, he's dreadful.
So he's dreadful. So again, it's just like, it was due time, man. We needed this. And I'm happy about this because, like, this is one of the big problems that we've had in the past, like, 3 years, is getting rid of these players. Our fan base hyping these players up just for stupid shit, lifting an FA Cup. I'm not undermining trophies at all, people, but I'm just saying, they win an FA Cup or whatever. We have sacked managers who've won FA Cups. We've gotten rid of players after that who've won FA Cups. That's not a measurement of anything in terms of our situation as a club. In our stage since 2013, since Fergie has left, we have consistently been in finals. We have consistently been winning trophies. That is not a measurement of where a player is and how good they are at our club. We've seen worse players win here. Weghorst won a Carabao Cup. What are we doing? Like, we've seen worse players here lift trophies, but that should not, and I'm good it's not a measurement of where these players now stand. So again, I don't care how much money they get sold for. I don't care about any of those type of things. Get them gone. Simple as that. And we need this rebuild. I'm telling you, people, I don't think you understand this. Our next couple of years massively depend on this summer and maybe the January one, and maybe that summer after that too. Because now we're going to basically get rid of how many ever players we do. I think I did this on A-listers yesterday. Realistically, I think there are about 8 players that can leave. 8 starting players. Players who've been in our starting 11 who could end up leaving. That wasn't even counting Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, and all of those guys, because that was basically players who were at our club. So it's much more than that too. So we could technically have a clear out of 12 to 13 players. 12 to 13 players. That screams rebuild. And it's like they cannot get this wrong. And as I say, they cannot get this wrong. They've started well. And I will say that too. They have started well. Because look at the likes that they're replacing with. They're not replacing them with people that we don't know if it's going to work out for them or not. We don't know how it is for them coming from abroad to the Premier League. We're replacing them with players who have proven something and who've actually been doing well in the Premier League and have better attacking quality than what we have. And it's as simple as that. So we have to do it. This is really it. This is a big, big summer. I know, like, a lot of us are still hurt about the Europa League final and how this past season has gone. Cool, I get it. It's tough to forget about it, but this is a big summer. They got to get to work. They have to get to work.
Yeah, that's it. And big up to Lucien as well. Big up Matthew as well. Says big up, smash up the likes. Yes, man, run up the likes. You lot get us up to 40 likes, people. When you enter the city of sarcasm, pay the tax. Like check 1212, like check 1212, and hit that subscribe button. We're 50 subscribers away from 15K. And Lucien says finally an actual proper rebuild if the reports are true. Yeah, Carmel, the only because he said haven't seen any midfield links, though still early doors. It is still early doors. Only midfield links I've seen is Edison Alvarez. There's the only ones I've seen, but it seems the attack has taken the club of prioritized that first, which I'm all for. But we still need more. Even if
they're asking for a lot of money for Ederson.
Even if we are to get DELAP, let's say we get DELAP and then Mbeumo, because all the reports are saying it's another number 10 in the striker. So those 3 spots will be filled up at the top end of the pitch. However, we still need to go get a couple central midfielders. We still need to go get a goalkeeper. If we get those, that's 5. And then add in a couple of additions, I'm all for it. Because I just want new, in particular, the spine. I'm not too really worried. With Dogu and Ahmad at wing back, I'm cool with that. The centre backs, we have enough. I'm cool with them for a season. It's about the attack. It's about that central midfield area and also the goalkeeper as well. Big up to Stephanie G each and every time. And it seems, Crypto, we are going to have a big summer. It does seem that is to be the
surgical
case.
Summer, man.
Yeah, man, surgical summer. Word to push your T. For real. And Matthew says Cherky links to City are killing me. Pep gonna ruin him. I'll have the show with Veta tonight, so we will discuss that. I'm just waiting for him to hit me back into Zipex, who says low key us losing the final is a blessing in disguise. Like I said, even low key.
High key.
Ain't no disguise. It's a true blessing. You've walked out your house and just found a wallet with no ID in it. You
just found $100 on the floor, 100 pounds on the floor for no reason.
Just found 100 pounds on the floor.
You just found it.
And just hit your foot. The wind just blew at your foot as soon as you stepped outside.
It's like, there's like this the baddest girl that you know on socials. You've never talked to her before. She's never noticed you before. She randomly just hit you up at night saying, "What you doing?" Yeah, it's one of those type of things, bro. Like, she randomly just hit you. You've never talked to this woman before.
She hit you with the follow.
She hit with your follow and the DM like right away saying, "What are you doing?" You're just sitting there looking at your phone, smiling and cheesing like an idiot, like because you never like a fool, bro. You're smiling and just cheesing at your phone like a fool. Don't even know what to do. Like, and that's really just what this is.
Don't have a clue what to do. Looking like this.
By the way, can I just say the 2 girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
I big up the panel. See, people, he was looking like that.
The way that we were looking. I had no idea what to do.
Didn't have a clue what to do when she messaged you that. You was like, huh? You was befuddled. You was all types of confused. Not a Scooby.
That's crazy, Chidlu. That's
crazy. Yeah, Chidlu, that is crazy. I don't know what was going on. Hooks is my guy. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Lucien says, why 16 though? Hey, people, we will delve into that in one of the clips because we shout out to Prime. We've got the origin story. Don't worry about that. About 16 out of 10. That'll be on the clips channel. Don't worry, we're posting that probably at some point this week. Because the clips channel, you get at least one new upload every day, people. To big up to Tanea says, what is Man U doing with first phase of play? You guys are bottom half for build-up play. We bottom half for everything today. Yeah. Let's get that. We bottom half for everything. We bottom half for goals scored. We bottom half for chances created. We bottom half for chances missed. We bottom half for everything. We need to build everywhere. like I was saying, like, you missed it because we just started, because someone mentioned just before you about us not really being linked to any midfielders. We need midfielders. We need central midfielders. We also need a new goalkeeper. But if we had started with the goalkeeper and the central midfielder, people would be like, we need attackers. We need everything in regards to the spine of the team. The only thing that I like is the centre backs, but it's still early doors. So far, so good, but we need to continue. But Cunha is a great step in the right direction. I put Mbeumo in that same bracket. I think the DELAP will be a good signing too, and then we move on from there. If you get those three, then is it that bad? Yes, Tane.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
watched
that bad. Yo, we've scored 44 goals, bro.
I don't know, Tane, who you support, but if you've watched us, it tells you all you need to know. Cedar says we're having a rebuild if Amorim gets his way and he gets to keep Bruno's side. If we had a competent structure, Amorim would be overruled and told to do one, but I don't trust our structure. Our structure does suck, Seedorf. We know this. Our ownership is incompetent. However, one good thing they have done is they seem to get recruitment right. And secondly, even if Bruno stays, if we sell everybody else, it's not the perfect rebuild, but it's still a rebuild. If Højlund and Garnacho and Rashford and Anthony and Onana are not here, but Bruno still is, that's still a great start to the rebuild. Do I want all of them gone? Yes. But hypothetically, it's unlikely they're all going to go. Maguire will probably still be here, unfortunately. Luke Shaw will probably be here, unfortunately.
Mason Mount will
Bruno
probably
Fernandes
be here,
probably be here, unfortunately. Mason Mount. But if the other 6, 7, 8 players I've just named are all gone, that's still a great start. If we got, let's say it's 14, 15 players to get rid of, and we get rid of 8 or 9, great start. And then you got the January window and the summer window to then get rid of him. And
I think
losing the final was a massive reality check. A massive, massive reality check. But yeah, go on.
Big up Stephanie G. But yeah, I was just, like I mentioned earlier to people, is like, let's say, you know, some of these guys that Flawless mentioned do stay, right? And we sign new players and all that, and Ruben Amorim doesn't, because this is an actual concern for me, that Ruben Amorim doesn't use them in the right positions, or he's still giving more game time to some of these scrubs over the players that we actually sign. Cool. We'll know that he's not the person to be at this club. We'll get him sacked, if depending on how Ineos and how long they take to get him sacked, because we've seen what they did with the previous manager. But we're going to be in a position where these 3 players that we've just been linked with can play under a different system and a different manager. And that is the most important thing. We're not going to be stuck with the same problem where, how are we going to fit Cunha into plans? How are we going to fit DELAP into plans? How are we going to fit Mbeumo into plans? And I think that's very important. Now, I'm not saying that they're thinking about this, or that's a thought in their head that, hey, what if Ruben Amorim doesn't work out and we're signing all these players? But again, I see it as like, this is how we should be scouting. We should stop going with this whole thing of a manager needs his players. Start off by this. Stop listening to this guy, bro. Genuinely, stop listening to this guy ask for certain people and actually buy players for the club. Because I think these 3 players are players for the club. They're not just players for Ruben Amorim. They're players for the club. And I think that's what most important thing is, because we know them. I don't trust them. They can do some foolishness and, buy a bunch of like back 3 players and then sack Ruben Amorim and then get a back 4 manager. And we're stuck with that problem. But no, that's kind of not what they're doing at this moment with specifically these 3 players, that it doesn't matter if Ruben Amorim is here or not. These guys can still perform to a certain level under whatever manager it is. And I think that's the approach that we need to take in this summer. Don't rebuild a squad of players for just one manager. Rebuild a squad of players for the club. And that's, I think, what the most important thing is. So we'll see. And I know midfield definitely needs addressing. Trust me. But guess what, Matthew? 100 million for Bruno Fernandes can rebuild a midfield.
You get 3 players for that.
3 players. You can get 3 players from that. So this is why I'm saying again and again, we need to get rid of these guys. This is the best time to do it. We're not going to get this much money. We're not going to see this much money for Bruno anytime in the future. This is the best time to do it. So again, it's one of those type of things, whether we're going to do it or not, who knows? We'll see. But the funds, we need these funds to invest just for our squad. Exactly. Yeah.
Agreed to you. If Bruno doesn't work as an 8, he needs to be sold and the funds should be reinvested in a world-class 8. We saw Bruno stinking up the 8 role in the final and all of his weaknesses were laid.
Bruno stinking up everywhere, bro. I'm stinking up everywhere.
I'm fully with you. I'm fully with you. Crypto says, I trust Ruben's ID talent. Get all the players he wants, and if he does get sacked later on in the season, I have no issue. I won't go that far. I don't trust his talent ID.
I won't say that either.
He's back Bruno. He's back Garnacho. He's back Højlund. And he's back Mount. I am not with it.
I didn't
Anyhow,
drop Diogo Dallo at all until he got injured.
Oh, the list goes on. I
And
am not
Mainu,
looking.
Crypto, what do you have to say about his treatment of Mainu?
Yeah,
2 minutes in a final.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, it's ridiculous, bro. But again, just like how I said, don't buy players for this manager. Don't just buy. Okay, I'll say this: don't just buy players for the manager. Don't.
And
They're not doing currently. Yeah,
they aren't doing now. They did it in January and they didn't last summer. All the players we signed can all play in a 4. But you even playing in a 3 or 4. Obviously, there's variation. Like Mbeumo can play right wing as a 10.
Yeah,
Cunha can play left wing as a 10 as a striker. DELAP's a striker regardless of if it's 2 10s behind him or it's a 4-2-3-1 or it's a 4-3-3, for example.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about that. Dogu could play left wing back, could play left back. Maz can play right
wing back.
Euro center backs. Like I don't worry about anybody else. Agate plays central midfield. Like that's what it is. But yeah, Amorim is he's cooked. However, I do think we'll be better just because I think we'll do better just because we have more talent on the pitch. But and when I say he does better, he probably does what Ten Hag has done.
Imagine just like Mainu's link up with Cunha or Mbeumo or DELAP as a striker. Like there's something that I didn't even actually think about, but just look at that too. Like how much will that actually, maybe, who knows? Maybe he can do a turnaround on that too. Who knows? But it's like right now, currently, with some of the decisions that he's made regarding our squad, I don't think he should be given so much power. Because again, this is something that I complained about prior to the Europa League final. I keep saying this, Ruben Amorim hasn't showed us enough, people. He hasn't showed us enough on why we should listen to him and also give him all this power in terms of getting a player. Because some of the decisions that he's made have been dreadful, y'all. Like, actually dreadful. He's part of the reason we had the season that we had. Consistently persisting with players time and time again for whatever reason. And look how it all turned out. So I think it's like, to a certain extent, maybe a little bit, we should listen to him, but not entirely. Entirely always should be thinking about the club, not a manager. A manager is not above this club. He genuinely isn't. Why do you think we always criticize Arteta so much? Because Arsenal have made our Arsenal Football Club Arteta Football Club. And they allow him to make all the decisions when it comes to signings. And he signed all the defenders that he signed, and look at them now. They've been a striker away and attackers away from winning the league back-to-back, 2 years in a row. And look what that's gotten them. And that's exactly the example that I'm trying to make, is that we shouldn't be allowing to do that. And their situation is much, much different from ours. Much, much different. We're just trying to build a foundation. We haven't even built a foundation yet. We're just trying to build a foundation. And that's where we need to start. And Ineos need to be cutthroat. Like I've been saying this, they need to be cutthroat. I hope there are clashes between Ineos and Ruben. I do. I genuinely hope there are clashes. I hope there are disagreements. Because Ineos need to be those people. They need to actually be cutthroat when it comes to that. That's what your job is. That's what your position is. So you're telling me that you're like, hiring all these players, like all these people, Wilcox and Barada, and you're just going to let Ruben Amorim bitch you guys around. Like, that's not how shit works. Be cutthroat. You sacked Ashworth when you needed to sack Ashworth a couple of months in. You did that because he was doing some foolishness, like suggesting Southgate and all these different managers. So it's one of those type of things where I'm like, you need to be cutthroat, bro. You need to be cutthroat. Big up Jacob. Says I look alive today. I'm pleased. Oh, man. He was on Mud Brothers yesterday, and there was like after the Europa League final, he saw my clip. Like Prime posted like a clip, and it was just like hella funny because like girls, like there's just like this girl calling me and I got mad at her. And then she was asking me like, oh, what is the score of the game? And I told her, ask Google. Like, don't ask me, ask Google. And he just, yeah.
Nah, probably on the point. Big up to Jacob each and every time.
I was going through that day, yeah, man.
But yeah, but like we said, definitely a blessing in disguise. Not even a blessing in disguise. The whole blessing was losing that final. I never would have expected this. I keep stating this. I am super surprised and super shocked by what players have said after the final, and also that Manchester United seem to be wanting to move players along because of that loss. And yeah, with Amorim, we know he's cooked. Like we know he's done. Again, do I expect him to do better? Yes, I think he'll do better because we have better players. But that better will still not be good enough because we'll look at it. And I expect him to be around what Ten Hag did. I expect it to kind of be like that in terms of results I'm talking about. Keep stating this. When Ten Hag got sacked in October, November, whatever it was, I think Amorim will be around the same amount of points, and the team won't really be cohesive. It won't really be a great unit, but individual quality at times will shine through. If you've got Mbeumo, Cunha, and DELAP, you're going to score goals. I could be managing those three, and you are going to score goals simply because of the quality of those three, especially if you then add in an Ahmad, especially if you have a Casemiro out there. Let's say we are going to sign at least a midfielder. Dog, you're going to be our left wing back. Like, you are going to. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you man with this cat thing. Big up Jazz every single time, man.
Should see what he said in the group chat as well.
But you lot, final few questions before we close out, people. Get your questions in. Get your questions in and run up the likes. And again, make sure you subscribe to the Clips channel, people. Sarcasm City TV Clips. Sarcasm City TV Clips. The link is in the title. We are uploading new clips, at least one every single day, man. Every single day. Shout out to Prime. And also as well, speaking of t-shirts, Sarcasm City TV merch as well. I'm doing my best to bring that back over the summer, people. Definitely bringing some Sarcasm City TV merch out. When I do, I bring the 16 out of 10 tees back. You'll also get the new Sarcasm City TV logo, the original Sarcasm City TV logo, couple other things as well. Yes, like Matthew said, sub to the ting, people. Sarcasm City TV Clips roll to 100 subscribers over there. We're at 70, I think we're at 73 or something like that. Gone over 70 anyway. And also subscribe here, Sarcasm City TV. Roll to 15,000 subscribers. And to the nude who says flawless at the wheel couldn't do much worse. I could do equally as bad. That's the point I'm making. So if you have
I think you could win back-to-back games. I think you could.
I reckon so, just by vibe.
I reckon you would. No, because you know what it is, flawless. It's as simple as this. Because you wouldn't fuck around. You would just make the right decision of playing the right people on the pitch. It's as simple as that. I know you wouldn't fuck around. Because I've seen how you are on clubs. When you don't like something, you change it right away. And you're proactive when it comes to stuff like that. So I know no benefit of a doubt that you would win 2 games back-to-back. No doubt.
Just by vibes, just by talent.
I'll put money on it. I'll put money on it.
I appreciate that. If you got Cunha, Mbeumo, and DELAP with Ahmad, that attack sells it. That attack sells itself. That attack does the business. Just put them out there.
Just put them out there.
Just put, like, for example, if you're playing 4-2, you just put Cunha on the left, you put Mbeumo in the 10, Ahmad at the right, DELAP up top. Or you could play Ahmad in the 10 if you wanted to, and then Mbeumo from the right. And then you just put Casemiro next to Agate. And then you have Maz, Dorgu, Yoro, Delit, and then a new goalkeeper. That wins games. No tactics. That 11 by itself wins games. And then you got Xerxes off the bench. You got Maino off the bench, for example. Like, it's certain shit just sells. It's like you got Martinez once he gets back off the bench. What are we doing?
It's like just no-brainers, man. Like, generally, it's just no-brainers. Like, seriously.
Like, that's what are we doing out here? What is going on? Nah, no bottling shirts, but big up Fozzy, man. Yo, you might get some form of milk merch though, or something like that. I just need to come up with the idea, like what I'm going to put on the tee, and put on the hoodies, etc. And Delucia says the amount of Steve AO moments going to be mad on the Clips channel. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, I'm sure, because Prime's got a whole heap of videos there on private already. I'm sure there's an AO. There's an AO for me actually on there that Prime's put out. See this guy be setting me up. I had the crazy AO that he put on there as well. Like I said, 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. people. There will be there'll be a new clip out, hilarious clip as well, and you'll get ones daily. But yeah, the team set, like, again, just complicating simple matters. Man, that's what it is. Something like that, Fuzzy. I've not decided yet, but it'll be something Snow Bunny milk related in regards to the tea, some form of slogan on it with the design, alongside, of course, the 16 out of 10 merch, and of course the Sarcasm City TV merch as well. It's got a dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and it will be available like the 16 out of 10 T's, not just in the UK, but across the globe. Be everywhere. Available absolutely everywhere, people.
Hey, man, clock is ticking. Bruno Fernandes, clock is ticking. They told you 72 hours, bro. Think about your family.
Is that a reliable source? Let me see if I can.
I've just been seeing it like everywhere. Oh, look at this. Athletic have just posted Manchester United's Old Trafford Stadium has been given a 2-star food hygiene rating.
Just to clarify, let me just put this out there to people. Just at Manchester United.
I
This is
actually
to
have
anyone.
something we can talk about. Yeah, but yeah, go on.
This is to anyone who goes to any football ground in the UK.
The food's not good. Yeah,
Do not eat the food from football grounds, people. Any football ground. Do not eat the food from any football ground, people. Not only one is it expensive, number two, it ain't all that. Don't. That's all I'm saying. Just don't do it. I'll be eating nothing, man. If you're gonna get anything, I hear you getting a drink, but even the drinks are expensive. Wait, you're at a football ground, there'll be shops close by. There'll be shops close by. That's what I was saying. Go on.
So yeah, so basically, there was an article that The Athletic dropped, which I thought was really good. I can't like bring it up, but I took screenshots of it and I was reading it like again. So just a couple of like quotes, like some things, you know how we heard about Amram was basically like he was contemplating walking away. So they wrote this. They said some observers got the impression that Amram was seriously contemplating walking away. Such was his frustration with the performances and working environment. Amram's public statements around this time about facing an uncertain future, when he even said that the sack can be liberating, added substance to the suspicion. He said similar things at Carrington as well. Amram received assurances on transfer targets and future plans from Chief Executive Omar Barada and Technical Director Jason Wilcox, key figures of communication for Ratcliffe, and stayed. Meanwhile, Ratcliffe provided interesting context on his relationship with Amram during his interview with the Times and the Telegraph a month later. This was on March 10th. He said, "I really, really like Ruben. He's a very thoughtful guy. Every time I go to the training ground, I speak to Ruben. I sit down and have a cup of coffee with him and tell him where it's going wrong, and he tells me to fuck off. I like him." Like, that's what he said. Just a couple more things as well. I think there was a thing where apparently Amram was in tears. Like, this is what they wrote. So a month later, they were saying Ratcliffe, so I'll just start from the beginning. Ratcliffe's visit in February came at a point when United's status as a top-flight team was not yet secure, adding to Amram's sense of unease. He repeatedly talked about surviving the season, so we heard about all those things that he was saying. A month earlier than that, Amram had broken the habit of his career by addressing players in the dressing room after a game, venting such furious passion following the 3-1 defeat by Brighton that was revealed by The Athletic, used for tactics by slamming a table of energy drinks and inadvertently launching one bottle into the screen. Maybe that's why we saw that the TV was broken at that time.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Amram had tears in his eyes as he implored players to be aware of the gravity of the situation and respond properly. A new TV was
Go, carry on.
A new TV was purchased at a cost of several £1,000s in the time for United's next game against Rangers. 4 days later, United won 2-1 through a 90th minute Bruno Fernandes goal. Amram is described as an emotional figure by those who know him, as he himself has conceded, especially around games. Ultimately, time passed. United got safe from relegation. This is absolutely pathetic that they wrote that. Progressed in the Europa League, and accord emerged. Ratcliffe gave firm backing to Amram in that round of media appearances in March. "I think Ruben is an outstanding young manager. I really do. I think he will be here for a long time." In the aftermath of United's Europa League final defeat by Tottenham Hotspur and the realization that the club will not have Champions League football next season, Amram again addressed his future. In doing so, he provided an explanation to on those inferences from back in February that he might step down. I'm always open if the board and the fans feel like I'm not the right guy. This is stuff that we basically heard. It now can be revealed that Amram flew to Monaco the Friday after the final and was unusually present at United's executive committee meeting, which is a monthly gathering of the club's ownership and executives. Amram returned to Manchester and told his squad on Saturday that he would be staying. In difficult moments, we blame each other sometimes as a club and as a family. It is normal, but we need to stick together and we will be okay. There's just so many things that like are part of this if
that is the case, how true that is, I don't know in regards to him wanting to resign. But let's say hypothetically it's true. I'm going to close out in a second. Let him go.
No worries.
If a manager wants to resign,
he's cooked, bro. From all the things that we're hearing, like all the things that I just said, he's cooked, bro. Saying that he's in tears after a game, smashing up shit like after a 3-1 defeat.
The smashing up stuff, I don't mind.
I see it's like frustration. That I get is like frustration. But tearing up. After a 3-1 defeat to Brighton, when you by the way just got here, bro. You just got here. I'm sorry, but I would never cry over Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes and all these scrubs. Because I know that they're shit. It's not like it's a realization. Like, I know that they're shit. And tears over something like that, I don't know, bro. It's like you can tell that this guy's absolutely cooked. He has no idea. So another thing, just one final thing. In this report on United's extraordinary 24-25 campaign, which is built on months of conversation with people familiar with the environment who will remain anonymous to protect the relationships, The Athletic can reveal, so there's a bunch of points. So basically, there were player doubts over Amarim's 3-4-2-1 system. There was a power dynamic at the executive level. What United are prioritizing in player recruitment. Ratcliffe's offer to watch Euros final on his yacht. So apparently there's a whole thing where he wanted to watch the Europa League final on his yacht. His role in hiring data specialist and cost of a 70-year-old sprint coach. The battle over United's global tours. Fernandez's intervention after Xerxes' booze. And the truth about a 175,000 body language consultant. What the fuck is going on at this club, bro?
Yeah, body language.
What are we doing? Body language consultant.
And just says it here, self-doubt always leads to self-destruction in this high level of sport. And this is what I'm talking about. You don't recover from self-doubt. And I lead to believe that some of these things are true about him resigning because of things that he said. And just before we close, imagine Flawless not believing in the channels no more. Everything would fall apart. Done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. But we gonna close out, people. Subscribe to Sheik TV, SHIK TV. Links underneath in the description. Hit the like button on here. Make sure you subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV YouTube channel and subscribe to the Clips channel. Sarcasm City TV Clips. Links in the title. We're redirecting to rants. Please put Sarcasm City TV raid in the chat. This has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.